Hey there, BookTube. I'm going handheld for this simply because I feel like shit and I can't be arsed setting anything up. It's Tuesday. Well, it's actually Wednesday now. It's 2 a.m. and in my last video, my last TBR wrap-up-ish video, I said that I'd be making a video every day to update you on what I've been reading, and then I'd splice them all together to make a weekly vlog, and this is the first one of those. But really this is more of a recap of what I said there, because I haven't read anything at all today. I made that video, and then within an hour of making that video, setting it to render, I started to feel ill. I got myself ready to read. I was watching a little bit of BookTube. I was going to set myself up to start reading for the evening. By the time I finished watching 2 BookTube videos, both of which were less than 20 minutes long, the rendering still hadn't finished on my video. I felt so ill that I had to go straight to bed and basically slept right through till almost 1 a.m. because I was feeling so ill. So yeah, I didn't get any reading done in the morning because I was spending the morning setting up my videos and recording my big kind of wrap-up-esque TBR thing. And what reading I was going to do in the evening, I didn't get to do because I spent the evening lying in bed feeling like shit. Such is the issues of the chronic migraine sufferer, I suppose. That said, whilst I didn't get any reading done today, well, yesterday now, but you get what I mean. It's 2 a.m, it's still today. While I didn't get any reading done today, I did get over 2 hours of reading done on Monday, so that was nice. That was me finishing Senlin of Sands, which I mentioned in that video, which I have here. I finished Senlin of Sands, so at least I did some reading. I did quite a bit of reading yesterday. But yeah, I'm hoping that I'm going to have a better day. I'm going to try and get a bit more rest. It's 2 a.m. and I've slept for most of the day trying to get rid of this bloody migraine. So I'm probably screwing my sleep pattern at this point. But I'm going to need to get myself settled because I've got my parents coming around today. So that's something I need to account for. So I'll try and get some reading done in the morning and fill you in after they've left. Thankfully, COVID... Bloody focus. Stop it! Thankfully, the COVID restrictions have been eased, so now up to 2 households and up to 6 people can gather. And people are referring to this as Freedom Day. Because, you know, we're so fucking free now! That's a rant for another time. But yeah, happy Freedom Day, Britain. You have the freedom to be only slightly restricted on your movements and associations. You still can't go to a cinema, a theatre, or eat in a restaurant because they're all fucking closed, and sex is still illegal. Yeah, I'm not joking about that last one. Unless you already live with the person, meeting up for sex is still illegal. Yeah. Fascist Britain. Yeah, all for a virus that has a less than 0.5% chance of killing you if you're over the age of 80. And a less than 0.2% of killing you if you're under the age of 80. Overreaction, much Britain. Yeah. Anyway, that aside. Restrictions have been lifted, so I can at least meet up with people again, and we can still do stuff. I'm still going to try and get some more reading in, but I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you on, I'll see you Wednesday evening to let you know what I actually managed to read. And I'll also fill you in on on what my mum thought of Age of Ultron, because we're watching the MCU together. She said she wanted to watch the MCU, so I'm introducing her to and watching the films in order. So we're up to Age of Ultron, and I'll let you know what she thought. See you then. Bye. Hello there, Internet. It's actually Thursday morning, not Wednesday, but I wasn't feeling too good last night, so I didn't record this in the evening. I was reading Tau Zero. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to pick something else up. The main reason being, I could only read for about 20 minutes yesterday. The migraine came back with a vengeance, which, honestly, I'm not surprised, and I still feel rough now. I know I look it. But yeah, it is now... it's now Thursday the 1st. And I'm going to try and get some reading done. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to set myself up on the sofa over there, and I'm going to read. It's still early morning. Well, not quite, but it's still morning. It's about 10:30. And I'm going to sit myself down, I'm going to open a book, and I'm going to read. And I'm going to relax, and I'm just going to take it slow. But honestly, Tau Zero, I'm going to have to knock that on the head. And the reason's simple. I couldn't reconcile the writing. It's taking me forever to read it. Because it feels old. Like, the writing style, like, the sentence structure, the word choice is old. And it makes it a genuinely difficult read, especially when you're not feeling well. So, I think maybe it might be something I just need to read when I'm not, burdened with migraines. I'm still in the mood for sci-fi, though. So, I am going... Ooh, it is over here. One moment. I'm going to start Empire of Silence. It is the 1st today, so why not start on the April Buddy Read books? So Empire of Silence, I'm going to give that a start today, and see if I can find something that's a little easier on the brain, a little easier on the eyes. And hopefully something I can sit and enjoy. Because honestly, Tau Zero was just... It's not a bad book. It's just written in an archaic way. And I think we forget just how different language is generation on generation. And a book from the 1970s, or from 1970, is now 51 years old. And people don't talk the same way. They don't read the same way. Language doesn't conjugate the same way. So, what felt natural then doesn't feel natural now. And for someone who's getting back into reading these older books feels like a chore. So, I'm going to try and read something that's more modern, more grounded for me, and a little easier for me. And I'll go back to Tau Zero, hopefully before the end of the month, when I've got a day when I'm feeling better, because I do want to get to the end and actually have the payoff from that. But until then, I'll see you guys again later. Bye. Hello there, it is Thursday evening. Actually, it's about 1 a.m. Friday, but let's not quibble over this shit again. And I have, I've read a little of Empire of Silence, and I really do mean a little. I'm 15 pages in, which doesn't sound like much, but have you seen how dense the text is in this book? It is really, really dense. It is surprising. Word count on this book is just huge. Right, looking at this. Sorry for the shitty camera angle. Not much I can do about this. A minute. Right, that'll do. Stay. Yeah, looking at this now, if I just pick a random page, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 13 words per line, which is average. Most books have about 13 words per line, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 38 lines per page. So you can usually take off around 4 lines per page for incomplete lines and like paragraph shifts. So if we call it 34 lines per page, that's more accurate. But even still, that's 34 lines at 13 words per line. So that's 340 plus 95, so 449, I believe. I'm doing the maths right in my head, but that even still, that's around 450 words per page. Which, when you consider that most books are closer to 300 to 350 words per page, one page of this book is 1.5 pages of the average book. And one page of this is 2 pages worth of the Hunger Games, which is a really good go-to for discussing like density and word depth and things like that when it comes to page count. Like the Hunger Games is a good baseline because we know exactly how many words are in that, and it's also a really, really good standardised size because it's almost exactly 100,000 words. It was purposely designed to be almost exactly. But what that means is that 15 pages in, at 450 words per page average, is not a great number of words. Like, we're looking at what, a little under 7,000 words. That's not a great deal. Even with my reading speed, it's only about half hour of reading, and it's weird. Like, I wanted to sit and read. I planned to sit and read, but I kept finding myself distracted. I'm at the beginning of chapter 3, which it's going well. I'm enjoying it, but I got through the first chapter, and then I started reading chapter 2, and it wasn't making sense. I was reading the words, but they weren't making any sense, and I realised I was horrifically overtired. I couldn't understand what I was reading. So I went to bed and had a bit of a nap and recharged my batteries a bit, and then I read chapter 2 again. So I actually read for longer than half an hour. I read for almost an hour, I'd say, because I kept rereading the same page over and over at chapter 2 and it wasn't sinking in. But once I actually was well rested and tried reading it, I felt fine. And I'm actually quite enjoying the setup. It's an interesting start to what I was told was sci-fi, but feels more like fantasy. It feels very, very fantasy. So I think what we're looking at is probably a space or future fantasy world rather than an actual sci-fi. I doubt there's going to be much in the way of hard sci-fi here. This feels very character-driven and very world-building heavy. So I think we basically have a fantasy in space, which is no bad thing. That suits me down to the ground. I'm quite happy with that. I like fantasy. But yeah, I don't think that we're going to have any hard sci-fi elements to this. And that suits me. That'll do. Apparently it's quite epic. The characters so far seems likeable. I haven't got a real sense for them yet. So like I say, I'm only 2 chapters in, but they seem like decent enough characters. So I get the idea that the Crispin is supposed to be Like, supposed to be a foil to Hadrian, assuming Hadrian is going to be a main character. It does look like it's going to be largely a single perspective kind of book. So if we're following Hadrian, and Crispin is very much the younger brother who is always one step ahead, which is going to be interesting to see how they play that off. I can see that being a really nice way of easing you into the characters and the world. So I look forward to seeing where that goes. But yeah, this week I've done a lot less reading than I'd hoped to, and I was hoping that making these vlogs would spur me on to read more, because I'd want to have something to say at the end of the day. But yeah, it's apparently not working that way, which is annoying. Right, well, I'm gonna get some sleep anyway, because it's quite late at night. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello again. I'm in bed again. Yeah, this is not going to be a particularly exciting edition, I'm afraid. Saturday night, and again, there's not been a great deal of reading done, but this time it's a bit different. If you were on the Discord, you'll know that Friday I announced that I'm running my Planescape games, which I mentioned I was going to be running a while back, but never actually put them into effect. Well, I announced them on a Reddit page just to make sure I had enough players, and we had a lot of people showing interest. So I spent a lot of Friday just talking to people about these games that I'm running, and it kind of got away from me a little, to the point where I didn't really have any time to do much of anything else, really, which was a shame, but oh well, that happens. But yeah, that was Friday, so I didn't really get any sleeping. Didn't really get any reading done on Friday because I was sleeping for much of it. And I was talking on Discord for the rest. Today was supposed to be a day where I'd actually get some stuff done, because Saturday didn't really have much planned. But what would have been my Wednesday, where I was supposed to be watching the MCU stuff with my mum, because I've been introducing her to the Marvel films, that was moved to today. So we met up for Saturday, because she was ill on Wednesday, and to be fair, so was I, as you saw. I was a state on Wednesday. So I had my mum around for most of the day, and I was not in a position to excuse myself and go off and read for a while. So obviously I had to do basic household stuff during the day, and then my parents were around from the very early afternoon onwards, but we got a fair bit watched, and we watched Age of Ultron. My mum basically fell in love with Pietro Maximoff pretty much from the start. So yeah, it was an emotional rollercoaster of a film, at least for her it was. She was saying, like, every time he was on screen, she was saying, "Oh, I really like him. I hope he joins the Avengers. He's becoming one of my favourites. I really like him. He's really cool." And it took a lot to keep a straight face. It really did. But yeah, she keeps saying things where I know that I'm struggling not to give spoilers away whilst she watches them. And she wears her heart on her sleeve as well, so the slightest little thing, and it's the waterworks. So I'm interested to see how she reacts to the next one, because one of our upcoming films is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and yeah, that one is an emotional roller coaster. That really is. Like, even I struggle to keep myself, contained during that one. Yeah, I sob, I cry like a baby, a hungry, angry baby. Because my God, that film, it is shocking how a film filled with such absurdist slapstick humour can also be so goddamn heartfelt. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how she reacts. But I fully expect that that will just kill her. That film, that'll have her, balls of tears. So it'll be an experience. But yeah, it was fun. We didn't just watch Age of Ultron. We also continued on with Agents of Shield, which she's been following, and we've been watching it alongside the films. So we watched the episodes and then slot the films in as appropriate. So we got quite a lot watched, but it was a solid 6 hours of TV, and my God, I was exhausted afterwards, and I felt terrible. So. I did end up coming straight to bed, and I've just been kind of lying here since. I had a shower. I'm hoping to actually read a bit more of my book. But yeah, so far, since I made my last proper video, I have attempted to read and failed to read Tau Zero for like half an hour, and I have fumbled over reading this for maybe an hour in a week, and this is why I don't get through books at any reasonable speed. So yeah, it's Saturday evening now, so I mean, I can already call Saturday effectively a bust. I didn't get any real reading done, but I've still got Sunday, so hopefully I can get a little bit more reading done on Sunday, and I can actually have a reading vlog that's worth putting up. Because honestly, at this point, this reading vlog is I didn't read, which isn't really a reading vlog so much as a excuses vlog. But we'll see what I can do. I might try and read for half an hour or so before I go to sleep. And I'll see you for Sunday evening's vlog. Bye. Hello there, YouTube. I'm being about as consistent as I always am when it comes to making videos or pretty much doing anything when I say I'm going to do it. It's now Monday, and I should be uploading this video now, but I'm not. I'm sitting here recording because I didn't record anything Sunday evening. I did do some reading Sunday evening. Actually, finally sat down and read a book, which is not like me, apparently. Apparently what I do is I lay on the sofa holding a book, read for about 10 minutes, and then have to sleep off a migraine. That's the pattern I've been having recently. But yeah, I read for a solid 45 minutes, split over 2 reading sessions of about 20 to 25 minutes each. Which sounds like shit all if you're following most booktubers who read for hours every day. But that's the most I've managed to read in a single day this week. Not counting the Monday where I managed to sit and read for a solid 2 hours. But I was finishing off a book, so I was probably spurred on by that. I'm really enjoying Empire of Silence. This is a nice read. It's simple enough that I can get an idea for it. There is one small issue, and that is that there's a trope that's cropping up where everyone seems to be afraid to speak. There is like the big kahuna, as it is, that everyone is frightened to say anything in case he takes offence at it. Even his sons can't speak in his presence, or he'll get angry, and him being angry is treated like the fucking world ending. And everything's all about etiquette, and it's one of those tropes that when it's done well, it can really enhance the story, and when it's done badly, it just means everyone sits in silence, afraid to say anything in case they offend. and then everything grinds to a halt, and all of the issues happen largely because no one was allowed to actually speak their mind, and misunderstandings cause all the bloody tension. So if the tension of this book relies entirely on the fact that no one can actually just speak candidly to each other, if all of the tension of this book would stop if, like, the main character was able to walk up to a representative of one of the companies and just say, this is happening and we should do X, and then all the tension would be gone. If that is the linchpin, this book will be shite, because that ruins all suspension of disbelief. If it's not, and it's just a little bit of dramatic tension and just a little bit of world building that they're playing up, then that's fine. For fuck's sake, I really do need to start switching off my phone and everything when it comes to making these videos, because they don't all chatter along, don't they? But yeah, that is something that I'm intrigued. It's a good opening. I'm really enjoying it, but I don't like that trope, and I hope that trope does not define the book. If it does, I am going to be extremely disappointed. And given I've bought all 3 of the books in this fucking series out so far, I will be very, very angry. So don't let me down, Chris. I bought your books. Please do not write a piece of tropey, like, predictable trash that could be solved if the main players in the story were able to just, like, speak to each other, because that will be shite. No one's going to have fun with that. Well, actually, loads of people have fun with that, but they have shite taste. So that's not that's not what you want. So yeah, I've got a little bit further, and I'm enjoying. I did go back to Neil Gaiman's Stardust, and I'm a little bit further in now. I've read, where is it? I've read up to chapter 7, so I'm on page 123. So I've read another 30 pages of this, which is actually more. I've read more pages of this today than I read of this all week. Though the pages are really, really dense. I'm up to page 32 on this. So I have legitimately read more pages today than I read of that, and it took me less time. I can read through this about a page every minute-ish, maybe a little under a page a minute. Like, I've read for about 40 minutes today, which is just under what I read yesterday. And, like, the page count is such a difference. It really does make all of the difference. Like, the page density is such a big thing. I'm enjoying Stardust. I do like the story. I prefer the film, if I'm honest. It's not a bad book. I would highly recommend this to someone wanting to get into fantasy. This is a really, really good entry into fantasy. I would highly recommend this. It's a short read. It's child-friendly for the most part. There's a light sex scene at the beginning, but it's not too much, I don't think. Like, I would gladly give this, like, a 13 or 14-year-old who wanted to start reading fantasy, because I think this would be possibly one of the better introductions. It's got a weird writing style. It's got a tendency to start sentences with "and," which I was always told you should never do, but I know it's not actually a literary rule. But yeah, surprised at how much I'm enjoying this, but also disappointed at how it's not the same as the film. And the film is more dynamic. It's one of those where I would want to use this as a good introduction for someone wanting to read fantasy, but I would be way more likely to show, like, an 8-year-old the film, because the film is a really, really good fantasy film, and it's very much child-friendly, and I think they'd be disappointed in the book if they've read I think they'd be disappointed in the book if they watched the film. So what you'll actually find is that almost everyone I'd recommend should have seen the film before it would be appropriate to give them that book. At which point, don't bother. That's the line I'm currently on. Like, unless you must read, unless you really want to compare, it's probably not worth it. I'd say just watch the film, and maybe if you really want the story, watch the film again. That works. Like, the events in the film are more exciting than the events in the book. That they upped the excitement level for the film, which is usually the other way around. They usually have to cut bits out of the book. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end that there because this is supposed to be a short reading vlog, so I can splice them all together and start uploading them. It is almost 4 o'clock, and I have stuff to do in 2 hours. So I have 2 hours to splice all of these together and get them uploading so that they can be uploading while I'm doing other stuff. So yeah, that's not much time. I better get on with it. So I'll see you next time. Bye.